Gentlemen, and welcome to the streets of Tramping Lake to celebrate the 75th anniversary of the town. It's very gratifying to see so many people lining the streets. It's just a beautiful, balmy, typical prairie day. It's also celebrate 125 Canada, and here come the first of our bikers with their gaily decorated bikes. I'm not exactly sure who they are. The banner carriers, it says welcome Tramping Lake Homecoming 75, is carried by Tracy Borshnick and Tyra Moyen. Flag bearers are Lynette Christic and Nadine Laturnis. And here come the first of our bikers, decorated with balloons, all local kids, the Peanut Man, the dice. Nice going, fellas. And there comes the wagon with some more goodies being chucked around. There's the first of our floats. It's the Golden Club, our pioneers of Tramping Lake. Father Leibel, I see Father Leibel. Mr. Kratchmer, August Hofert, Agnes Hirschmiller. Our next float is Canada 125. Is on the flag with black and yellow balloons. Who are they? Triple S. Our next float is coming into view. It's Don Say family. He's got a team of Clydesdales just beautifully decked out. Fine harnesses, beautiful wagon. There's Don waving as he passes by. Don spent a lot of time. Our next float is coming into view here, and that is the Unity Building Supplies, Pro Hardware. Welcome to Tramping Lake Community. Next float coming into view is Saskatchewan Wheat Pool. Nicely decorated float. It's being driven by Brian Coleman, our youngest pool member at Tramping Lake. Attaboy, Brian. Another float is coming into view here. I'm not sure. Rosemary, do you want to help me a bit? Oh, hey. Oh, that's Wayne. Wayne Simon of Tramping Lake. He's got a hovercraft. Wayne is sort of an entrepreneur of Tramping Lake. That's one of his latest gizmos, is that hovercraft. And there we go. Here comes the binder with 4 horses. Most of the old guys remember that. I don't remember driving a binder on the field, but I sure remember stooking. The binder is owned by Ron Kraft, driven by Ron, and the thing is actually working. And there we come, an old prospector, Larry Hummel, an old prospector from the hills in the south. And the follow-up to that binder is a threshing machine and a 1530, owned and operated by Charlie Schneider of Revenue. That thing is in really fine working order. You'll be seeing it working later on this afternoon. Welcome, Charlie Schneider. He's just chucking her away. Most of the guys say They long for the good old days, but I say I'm glad they're gone. Our next float is Hopewell Charlie Farms, a cattle trailer and truck driven by Pat Meyer of Andrew Meyer Charleys, about 4 miles south of Tramping Lake. Andrew Meyer and Sons. And now here we go with a vintage car, a bright red hot rod driven by, real quick here, Ken Solly from Battleford. Welcome, Ken. And here we go with a single horse cutter driven by Andrew Meyer, and his buddy is George Stoltz. And here we have a truck driven by Doug Sanger. It's the Tramping Lake CWL. Your commentator this afternoon is Joseph Coleman from Tramping Lake. I'll try my best to be as precise as I can. If I stumble over something, most of you know who is out there. Try and pick it up and make the best of it. The next float coming down here is the Knights of Columbus 7150. Says welcome, Tramping Lake Council 7150, being driven by Simon Bond. On the float this afternoon is Tony Lang and Joe Friestick, being driven by Peter Volk, owned and operated by Peter Volk. It's the credit union float. Manager Bev Shell, along with Lawrence Kraft and Katie. He's number one at the credit union, you might say, the first signer of the credit union. Look, here's a half-ton coming along, blue and white. Don's Motors of Unity. Welcome to Tramping Lake. The parade is slowly winding its way down Main Street in Tramping Lake. Here comes the first of the Libby Hummel collection. Libby Hummel is a local garage operator here in town. His hobby is repairing and rebuilding old tractors. Here comes the Minneapolis U, being driven by Henry Ryder. And Tony Hummel says that was Henry's first tractor. He gets a chance to drive it today once again. But I'm sure he's glad the summer follow is all done. Here comes the Model T, the original 1927 Model T, touring Joseph Meyer family from Looseland. And here comes Sask Power Float. The more power to you. So many ways to be power-wise. Saskatchewan Power, glad you're here. They've got the Canada, Celebrate Canada 25 flag and the Saskatchewan flag. And here comes Ray Mitzel, a seed grower and cleaner from north of town. Yeah, Ray, come on, how about it? Chucking along, here comes a John Deere D, I think. It's an AR, okay? A correction there, the John Deere AR, probably the beginning of the 40s. It's being driven by 1942, I was right. Not quite sure who the operator is. Bartley, I think that's a Bartley, yeah. The John Deeres are moving here kind of slow. There's another one coming down the street here, but they only got first gear and they go at a snail's pace. A couple more John Deeres coming into view. They've got the old and they've got the new. This is a John Deere D. owned by, I believe it is Ron Kraft. I'm not sure who the other. That's the old, and there comes the new. Farming yesterday and today. Who's the driver? And the operator is who? Brent Kraft, owned by George Kraft, farms west of Tramping Lake. There he's got 50 years of progress. George would say that about a John Deere. And here comes a McCormick Deering 1530, operated by Ron Budd, with a grain tank hitched on the back. He substituted the tractor for horses. The rider on that wagon is a relative, Ron. And there comes the old limo, owned and operated by Tramping Lake's foremost eligible bachelors. That's Warren Coleman, Dwayne Tupshire, Kuntz, Darren Kuntz, and Coy Borshnick. There you go. That car come all the way from Arkansas, and here we've got Homesteader Kennels, Mr. and Mrs. Philip Lang. Philip is a German Shepherd breeder from north of Tramping Lake. Attaboy, Philip. Homesteader Kennels, and here comes a float being pulled by Bruce Scher. Children, it says on their children are the future. So there you go. There's a wagon load of mums and children. Nice to see you out here. And here comes, they're holding up the traffic, and here comes a float being pulled by Freilich Floriculture Farms from south of Tramping Lake. It's a three-wheeler driven by Dexter Freilich, and the young fellow on there is Evan with a bouquet of flowers. And that's the Lucky Dollar float, driven by Clayton. On the float is Christina and some of her family. Candy for everyone. What a parade we have here today. It's about a mile long. And there comes a float driven by Michael Volk, Country School. It must be Prairie Heights on the hill, yeah. No, Prairie Mound. Pearson, Tramping Lake, Prairie Heights, Queensview, all the schools from the Tramping Lake area. There's Mother Superior with the big stick giving the instructions for the day. There we go, a country school float, and there's a Volkswagen coming into view. Volkswagens, they were quite popular about 30 years ago. I'm not quite sure who is driving that one. There's a couple more little garden tractors, Keller equipment from Unity. And I don't know the lady driving that float. I wish I knew. Beth Looney, okay, yeah. Am I right? I was going to say, who's that good-looking gal driving in a Volkswagen? That John Deere D is driven by Mervyn Richloff. He's got a trailer with a new John Deere D from Keller Equipment, Unity. Another float coming into view here. It's the Tramping Lake Co-op float coming into view here. Manager Arnold Simon, being driven by Arnold. Some of our directors or our delegates rather are atop the float. Just give us a big wave, Les. Hi, Les. Bunch of young kids up there. The future. of our co-op is riding right on top of there. As our parade is winding away here, there's lots more to come. I think our population today increased by about 1,000. We normally have around 140 if they're all at home. Today the streets are lined with, I'd say, 1,000 people. Nice to see you here on a cool afternoon. And here comes another one of the Hummel collection. It's an old Oliver. Looks like his top speed is probably about 2 miles an hour. An old Oliver 88, driven by Vincent Schneider. Just give us a big wave, Vince. You're the camera. Attaboy, Vince. There's another old Oliver coming down the road here. I don't know who's the driver of that one. An Oliver 99. Who's the driver? The driver of that old Oliver 99 is Pete Height. He used to be originally from Tramping Lake, and there comes the owner himself, Tony Hummel, driving a Minneapolis set. His dad used to sell Minneapolis tractors at Tramping Lake once upon a time. Give us a big wave, Tony, and there's another one of the Minneapolis tractors, driven by who, please, quick, tell me. Alfred. Hummel, go. Where's that spirit with? Randy Honors float there. Sandblasting, M&T sandblasting of Tramping Lake. And wouldn't you know it, there's a home-built tractor, was built by Rod Simon's uncles many years ago. It's working really good. There's Rod Simon. That tractor was originally built by Stanley Frelick. There's DNR variety, half-ton. DNR, they operate the post office and a store here in Tramping Lake. Here's a vintage car just coming into view. Meyer from Calgary, I believe, if I'm right. Looseland, okay. Originally from Tramping Lake, Joe Meyer from Looseland. And here we got the Wilkie Junior Outlaws, 1928 provincial champs, on the back of a vintage truck. It's driven by, I'm not sure. It's a dandy old truck though. And the co-op, of course. Here comes Tramping Lake Co-op, driven by Joanne Shell. She's not so close. She says, I've got the gas. So you better get moving, Joanne. Attaboy. And Joanne brings up the rear as usual. Yeah, I think so. What about winds up our parade this afternoon? They'll be making a left down at the end of town. They may possibly be